So my fabric is folded into two this way, and this other part here is the folded part, which is going to serve as the center for the back, because we are going to be cutting out the back first. From the center, I'm going to come in by half of my shoulder, and then I'm also going to mark neck width of 3.5 inches. I'll come down by 1.5 inches for the back neck depth, so that by the time we are done stitching this, it will now fall into 2 inches. Now that I'm done with that, from that point where I have my shoulder, I'm going to mark my sleeve length, like how long I want the sleeve to be. I want mine to be 10 inches, and I'm just going to mark 10 inches here. From that point I marked 10 inches. I'm going to come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. So after marking that point, come down from this point by 1 inch for your shoulder slope, and you're going to connect it back to the neck width. So I'll use my straight ruler to connect this back to the neck width, just like this. Once you're done with this, make sure you connect it very well. Alright, so once you're done with this, the next thing you're going to do is to come to where you have your sleeve length, and you're going to come down by how wide you want it to be, like how open you want it. But first, let's go ahead and mark our hips, shoulder to hip. I just went ahead to mark it here, and I'll connect a straight line across, just like this. Once I'm done with this, next thing I'm going to do is from the center of this fabric, I'll come in by half of my hip divided by 4. So I'll mark it here, and I'm also going to add extra 4 inches to this. I added 4.5 inch to it. Now the choice is yours. You can decide to add more inches or reduce it if you don't want it very big. You guys, I have a lot of videos here on my channel on how to make a bubu dress, alright, so you can also go check them out. From the shoulder, I'm going to come down to how long I want this dress to be. I want it to be 40 inches, but I marked 41 because you will need to fold the end. So go ahead and connect a line across, just like this. So once you're done with this, whatever you have on your hip, you're also going to mark it on the full length of your dress. But before then, let's come over to where we have the sleeve here, and I'm going to come down by how wide I want it to be. I marked 11. Next, I'm going to use my straight ruler to connect a straight line across this way, and after that I'll also come in again. I'll connect a line across this way. So I'll take that line down to where I have my hip line. Alright, so I'll connect it down this way, and then I'm going to connect a curve around this point here. Connect a curve just like this. Once you're done with that, you're also going to connect from your hip down to the full length of this dress. Alright, so whatever you have on your hip, like I said, make sure you also mark it on the full length, and then connect a straight line across. So this is what I mean. I'll connect from this point down to where I have it. So once I'm through with this, I'm just going to go ahead and cut out everything. So next, I'm going to now bring another fabric and place this on top to get the front pieces. So remember, we just cut out the back, and we'll need to cut out the front as well. Now the front is going to be having a different neckline from the back. That is why we had to cut it separately. So right now, I'm just going to keep this aside, and I'll bring another fabric this way that is also folded. So I folded this into 2 right sides facing each other, just like this. And then I'm going to place the back. Make sure you arrange it very well. Make sure everywhere is well placed. So now I'm going to place the back on it this way. Alright, and I will make sure I arrange this very well. So place the back this way. You're just going to go ahead and trace out every other thing, and then I'm going to show you how to cut out the neckline for the front. I'm done tracing this out. I'm just going to go ahead and remove the back. So I went ahead to make a mark from where my shoulders start, like the neck width started from. So I'm going to now place, this is now like the front pieces. So to get the neckline for the front, I'm just going to show you how you can achieve that. So you're going to come to where I have this mark, like from this point I'll come down to about 9.5 inches. You can use 10, you can even use 9, whatever the case may be. So I use 9.5. After marking that point, I'll also go in by 1 inch. All right, so I'll use my straight ruler now to connect this, to connect it this way, and then I'll connect from the neck width to that very point like this. So once I've connected that, I'm just going to use my scissors now to cut this out. So I'll cut it out. I'll show you guys what it looks like. So go ahead and connect it this way, and you have something looking like this. I also want to trace out a little from the shoulder area here. All right, so this shoulder slope is totally optional. You can decide not to slope your shoulders, it is also fine. All right, so this is what the neck looks right now. So the next thing we are going to do now is to place the back right sides facing each other. We are going to go over to the sewing machine, stitch down the shoulders area. All right, so you stitch down the shoulders using 1/2 inch and also this part. This is what I have after I was done stitching it. So this is how beautiful everything looks here. I also went ahead to fold the ends of my sleeve. So this is it here. And right now, the next thing we are going to do now is to now turn the neckline. So to do that, you are going to first measure from this point here. You are going to measure to know how many inches you have here, for you to be able to cut out another fabric you'll be using to turn the neckline. So please make sure you measure this round your neckline, and when you are doing this, try to make sure that you use the correct measurements. All right, just take your time to measure it around the neck, just like what I'm doing here. Make sure you arrange everything well, and then continue to measure until you get to this other point here. So I'll measure to this point, and I had about 28.5 inch, that is 28.5 inch. So that is what I'm going to be using now to cut on the black fabric I'll be using to attach on the neck areas. So this is the black fabric here, this is it here. So I'm going to show you how I cut out the black. I have two different types, but let's first work on this. So I cut out this, the width for this is 2 inches. That means when you open it up, because it was cut on fold, when you open it up it's going to be 4 inches. So 2 inches on fold, and the length for this is about 30 inches. So whatever your measurement is, please make sure you add about 2 to 3 inches to it. All right, and then for this other fabric, I have here 11 inches on this side, and I also have 11 inches on this side. So you're going to cut out a square using 11 inches, or you can use 10, you can even use 12 inches. So what I'm going to do now is to now open up the neckline this way. Please pay attention to this part. You're going to open up the neckline this way. Make sure you arrange your shoulders very well, and you're going to use the black fabric to turn the neckline. So what you're going to do is the part that is opened on the black fabric, this part here, you are going to place it. Make sure you place the black should be at least, it should be at least 1 inch, like this is what I'm trying to say. So when you take it down to this area here, you're going to bring your pin. Make sure you're working with your pin. So place it at least 1 inch below this way, and you're just going to pin it down. So I'll continue pinning it down around the neck areas, and I'll show you guys what to do next. I'm done pinning this. I'm just going to go over and stitch down those areas using 1/2 inch of stitching allowance, and by the time I'm done, I'll show you guys what it looks like. So these areas where I pin down, make sure you just take your stitch through to this point, and this is what I have after I was done. So this is it here. This is what I got. So right now, the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut out this excess I have here. But before then, make sure you notch this part so that you can be able to turn this to the back part, because we need to turn the black into the back piece, like the back side. All right, so you're going to understand better. I'm just trying my best to explain this for your understanding. So I'll notch the both areas where I have my stitch, like where you stitch your, like where your stitches stop. All right, and then I'm also going to cut out the excess I have here and then pull this back inside just like this. Can you see? So when you put it back, you're just going to have this V shape or along the neck area here. So I went ahead to turn this over to the back so you know exactly what we are doing. Turn it to the back this way, and you're just going to arrange everything properly. So this is how it's supposed to be. Make sure you're placing this very well. Place it this way, and if possible, go ahead and also pin this down. So I went ahead to pin it down just to hold it in place, just like this. Now I'm going to turn it over to the right side and show you what it looks like. So when you turn it over to the right, you have something looking like this. Very, very neat. Just make sure that your work is very neat. All right, now that we are done with this, I'm now going to bring the black fabric. So we are going to place the black on it, but before then, let me just show you what this design is going to look like. Now the choice is yours. You can decide to place this in any direction you want to, but I want mine to be in this direction here. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead to show you the part you're going to cut off to have those designs. So I'll remove the fabric and let's work on the black fabric alone for now. So what I'm going to do now is, on this part here, I'm going to come up by 3 inches. So on the part that you want the cuff area to be, you're going to come up by 3 inches on this part. So I came up by 3 inches here, and on this other side I'm also going to come in by 3 inches. So I will now fold in that part. So you can even do this without taking any measurement. You can just fold it in this way and then cut it off. So I'll just go ahead and cut this part off like this. So once I'm done, this is what I have. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is to take this to my iron, and I'll be folding in 1/2 inch on all the side. Make sure you're folding this on the wrong side of your fabric. All right, fold in 1/2 inch all the side, and then make sure you iron everything well straight. I also went ahead to pour water on it so that by the time I'm doing it, it will just stay firm. You can even use hemming gum for this too. So once I'm done ironing this, I just went ahead to bring my fabric this way, and on the part where we have the neckline, I'm just going to bring the black fabric on it this way, and you're just going to place it, remember, in any direction you want, anyhow you want to place this is totally optional, right? It's up to you. So this is how I want mine to be. So now that everything is well placed this way, I'm just going to go ahead, use my pins now to just pin this down. So I'll take this now to my sewing machine and I'll run a top stitch all around this point. Just make sure that when you are doing that, your stitches are very neat. Okay, this is what I have after I was done making mine. So this is how it looks here. This is how beautiful everything looks. Now I'm going to turn everything to the back side, like the wrong side. Turn them over this way so you can see what the back looks like. I'm also going to be using a weaving machine to like secure all these points so it's not looking very rough, but this is what it looks like. You can even leave it this way if you are making this for yourself, but if this is for a client, please make sure you secure those areas. So this is what it looks like in front. Now the next thing we are going to do now is to join the side. Make sure you arrange everything very well and then join the side. So for the side, I'm going to turn it back to the wrong side this way. Place them right side facing each other and you're going to stitch the side. I also went ahead to attach pocket to this. I have a lot of videos here that on my YouTube channel here that I showed you guys how to cut out a bubu with pocket. You can also go and check on those videos. All right, so I was running out of time and there was no way I could cut out pocket for you guys to see on this particular video. So I'm also showing you the part you'll be stitching down. When you get to this pocket area, just lift your machine up and then stitch through to the down part. You're also going to repeat same thing on this other side as well. This is what I have after I was done making mine, and this is how beautiful everything here looks. I hope you enjoyed this video. I also went ahead to secure the end of my dress, and this is how everything here looks like. I'm so in love with this dress. I hope you'll be trying this particular method. Just let me know. And this is what it looks like on my dummy. Like, this camera is not even doing justice to this dress, trust me. Everything came out beautiful and nice. Thanks for watching this video. If you are yet to subscribe to my YouTube channel, please do well to hit on the subscribe button and please turn on that notification bell so you'll be first to get notified whenever I drop a new video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.